What is up, everybody? Thanks for coming in. I see comments up in the chat. Appreciate you all for waiting for myself and Jimmy here, Old School Flips. Whew, I had a pretty good weekend out in Nolans,
Heck yeah,
NOLA,
man.
New Orleans. Like, we saw some gators. I got to hold a baby gator. And I'm not going to
Okay.
lie, like, I was looking at it and I saw little kids hold this little gator and they were not scared at all. And I'm over here like, oh my God, oh my God, I'm scared.
Right.
And when I got to hold it, I was like, this is so cool. And the guy was like, don't put your finger in it because this will happen. And he puts his finger in front of the mouth and it bites it. And he's just like, oh crap. And he had blood running right there and then. And
Wow.
I was feeling a little wheezy. I was like, and I was like, no, I gotta be manly, you know what I mean? For my wife. And these kids are probably like, my dad could beat you up. And I'm like, lucky my dad's not here. But anyways, everybody, thanks for coming in. I'm a full-time reseller. SonnyLasVegas. Sonny is my name with an O. I get that a lot and messed up at Starbucks often. And I've been reselling for probably over 4 or 5 years, mainly apparel, but I've been opening up to other things and other platforms. I did just get approved yesterday for Whatnot, and I'm learning a lot off of it from being a customer myself, and also
Yep.
just like tuning in. Like Tim over the years is on right now, and he was giving some information. Like I'm like, hey, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't directed towards me, but it was for me. And there's a lot of stuff you could learn if you just have the patience to listen in.
Yep.
And that's one thing Jimmy does too, and does quite a bit of stuff. And I was telling Jimmy right before this, I'll let him introduce himself in a second. But he was cracking up because of how to become a stay-at-home husband, right? And this is full time. This is the dream. This is the goal for
Yeah.
most men, and I say that men, not boys. Anybody could be at home, but it could only last so long. And if you don't make it work, it's not going to work for you, and you're going to have to end up going back to your 9 to 5. And there's nothing wrong with that. I failed in a lot of things and figured things out along the way, and I'm very fortunate and happy to be where I'm at now. But it's not easy. I'm still on my hustle. And with that, I bring to you my friend right here, Jimmy, Old School Flips.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me on. Jimmy, old school flips. I am a full time stay at home husband too. I've been a full time reseller for about 3 years now. And it's funny that you said that. And then today I wasn't at home at all. I was out at estate sales, pick doing Facebook, and I was like, man, that ain't true. I ain't home at all. Like I got home right before my wife did. No, but yeah, it does takes a
A
lot of
lot.
work to get there. You're right. Like it took a lot of work to get to this point. It doesn't just happen.
No, it doesn't. And I think a lot of people that come in who has, say, been on YouTube, right? Whatever platform people come from, or you jump on, you end up seeing what you see right there and then thinking like, oh, they just jumped into it. And a lot of people do lead people the wrong way that way. That I see even bigger YouTubers, that aren't resellers. And they're like, hey, you could do it. And I'm like, hey, you should be honest, like what you're really doing. You're paying for advertising,
Yep.
because you could get monetized and have the ads. I'm not there yet. I got my subscribers and it's growing, and I'm very thankful for it. I appreciate everybody coming in to support, whether it's here later on and the community thumbs posts that I put up and any platform that I'm on. Thank you so much. Um, but it's just like you gotta hustle and not overwhelm yourself. You really have to have a plan and focus on it and not make excuses like, oh, I'm
Yep.
just going to be on YouTube a little while longer and watch people. And then before you know it, it's like 1 in the morning. You're like, whoa, I'm tired. Damn it, kicking yourself in the butt. And coming back from New Orleans, I've been focused on listing every day, but not killing myself with it because I don't want to hate it. I left my job, which I hated, almost hated doing. And then
Right.
I don't want the same thing for this because there's a lot more bonuses. But with the being a stay at home husband for me, I've said this before and I'll say it again. It takes a lot to be home because you're rarely home. There's
Yeah.
priorities. There's the right now the only issue we have would be the key to my mailbox. Like I have a PO box, so for orders when they come in, they don't get my address. They get the PO box address. Right? It's
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that way. But it's like the key's not working. So my wife's like, "Hey, where's the keys at?" And I was like, "It's right here." And she's like, "It's not working." And then my mother-in-law is listening. She was like, "Oh, I forgot to tell you that when you're gone in Louisiana, that the mail lady couldn't even get into it. Like it was stuck. That she ordered a new key, and that's a thing where it's like you think a mile down the road from the post office, is easy to get to. But then there's like, hey, babe, since you're going to the post office, can you go here? And did you get me gas? I was like, don't ask me, like, did you get me gas when you never asked me to get you gas? It's one of those things. And then you're like, have that itch, you know?
Right.
That Dave Chappelle itch, like, but a mile to the right is Goodwill, and I could try to put it all together.
Yep. That's like on Wednesday, my son goes into school late, so I take him. I'm stopping at the thrift on the way home. But that's the other thing. Like, I have an 18-year-old son that hasn't taken the time to learn how to drive. And so, like, he thinks I'm Uber. Like, so now that I'm at home, he's like, Uber dad is here. So it's like, take me here, and I pick him up from school every day. So, like, you end up doing, like you said, but while you're out doing that stuff, you find your way to the bins with the rural squirrel.
Hey, it's called life. But there's a lot that goes on at home to where reselling comes whenever it comes and it's available with that window time frame. And it's funny because Brian, Red Dirt Picker, on my Instagram post, I put that if this channel might have you ready to put on some protective gear, and he left some fire emojis on there, and he commented under it saying that his wife ended up punching him for that. And it's true. I won't tell you any lies, and I won't say do this or that without hopefully giving that disclaimer, like, you still got to check on things yourself and have a goal. I really looked at, when I wanted to really be a full-time reseller, I looked at how much money does it take to cover my bills? Yep. How much money am I bringing in? Like, outside of eBay, I do get retirement from the military, but how much do I need from eBay to cover the little left over to have money in my pocket and left over to, just be out and about and not go back to living from paycheck to paycheck. That's the last thing I want to do, because I should have just stayed back at work if that was the case. I should have never left it. So I'm trying to move forward, not backwards.
Right. I found, because when I went full time, I saved up some money, like you said, but I was desperate to go full time. Like, at the job I had, because I had already had to retire as a mechanic, so I took another job. I was desperate to get out of there, so I did take a chance. Didn't quite have as much as I would have liked, but man, if you put the work into the eBay, it turned out fine. It paid off. Like, the amount of growth my eBay took, when I was able to focus on it, like, it turned out fine. So if you put the work into, I feel like if you have a decent little nest egg, if you put the work into it once you go full time, if you're honest with yourself is the big thing.
Yeah.
You can do it. You can, and not skip a beat,
How to be a stay-at-home husband, marry a rich woman. If you're into women, some people might want to marry the same, and you can, with that, you can't change what the heart loves. The heart loves what they love.
Right.
And I just want to put that out there, because I do have gay cousins and stuff where I'm like, I think about things like that. But you're right. I mean, my wife, for the longest time, her being a nurse, people would blatantly tell me, like, why are you working? Your wife's a nurse. And I'm like, yeah, but they're not millionaires. They're definitely thousandaires, and my wife saves really good. So she's a thousandaire, but she's slowed down after around 3 months of me being a full-time reseller now. And this month makes my 7th month of reselling full-time. And now she's talking to friends when we meet up with them, and they're like, hey, how's everything going? Rather than her bringing up, how's her work, she was like, oh, Sonny's doing good, on eBay, and he's able to do this and that. And now it's like, I can see that stress has gotten off her shoulders, but I still feel like she has that tendency of, like, I'm tired of seeing you here when you're home, and I'm tired of you being here when I come back home, not knowing that I'm doing stuff, but right. It's great. If I could get to where, my this goal in my head of making like 8,000 minimum a month, then she could start on her own. And if I could get to 8,000, like, if any number you're going to as a goal financially, if you could get to that number, I believe you could get even further than that. I just use it as a stepping stone, and you can't stop. That's the thing. You could get there, but don't stop. Don't be content. Like, I'm good. I could chill for a while. Like, no, make as much as you can while you can, because you're going to come across some obstacles where it kicks you in the butt.
So you got a schedule that you're going to be testing, like, some heavy equipment at the time that your wife gets home. Like, don't be sitting on the couch listing on your phone. Like, be downstairs tearing into a stereo when she walks in the, or maybe if you iron if you steam or iron the clothes that you list, like be doing that when she walks in the door. So it kind of throws her like, oh wow, he really. If you're sitting on the, like, I've made that mistake. I'll be on the
I
couch.
was just gonna ask you, can you
I'll be like this on the couch.
relate in your own story?
And she walks in the door. She's like, you've probably been sitting there all day.
No, I haven't.
Right?
Yes, I have.
Well, I want to ask you, like, because you've been full time for a little bit now. How's that transition going? Like I said, is it going as good as it did for me for you?
It was going great at first, like the first 3 months. Well, after like January, it's like it slowed down a lot. Like I've been able to pay my side of stuff, and I'm not worried about it because I know I just need to, after vacation and get back to it, and I'll get back up. But I did see while I was even on vacation, a lot more orders come in than what I had weeks before that. Like they kind of tripled the amount, from the month or two before that. And I'm like, yes, like that's a good feeling when you're on vacation. And one thing about vacation mode is that even though on my end, I put the little notice like, hey, if you're expecting to order right away, and it gives you the alert, like, for example, mine was like, hey, this seller's going to be gone for like 15 days or these days, expect a delay. And I have a personal note that goes with that, hey, we're on a quick getaway and this is when we get back on the 5th or so on. I always give myself 2 days after we get back. Yep. And most of the times as soon as I get back, say 2 days before that, the 3rd, I pack the orders, I ship them off, if not that day, depending on the time when I get back, or the following morning. And usually people are like, oh, I'm getting it faster than expected. Kind of one of those things, not to be tricky, but I just give myself some leeway on the vacation. Yeah, but on the last day, say the 2nd, somebody ordered a $15 shirt, and that could be a lot for some people. I get it. Some people are like, oh, that's it, $15. Remember, there are people out there that are just barely getting by, and they're just wanting to feel like normal to buy something. And that's why the platform's out there, for people to give what they need. But the following day, he's like, when are you going to ship this? And I'm like, this guy, out of all the people, you're the last order that I got. And you're like private messaging me and putting a little sassy emoji face, and I'm like, I was like, hey, sorry for the delay. As soon as I get back, like I'm going to pack it and ship it. And I didn't get a reply back, but it was like, we landed like 4 hours later and maybe 8 hours total. I was able to do it that night. So
I actually got a negative feedback. It was on the other store, Sonia's store that we had for a while on eBay. She got negative feedback because they ordered something while she was on away mode, and they said it took too long. And I was like, I could have called and got it removed, but I was like, whatever. I was like, I just responded. You ordered this while the store was on away mode. I suggest not ordering stuff while someone's on away mode if you want it right away. Like, come on. Like, it says right there.
Now, your comment, was that a private message or was that your comment under their negative feedback?
I responded to the feedback. It was nicer than that. I was like, I was just like, I recommend shopping at stores that are not on away mode if you need something right away. This store was on away mode when you purchased this.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Why there was a delay.
I think people don't realize or haven't done themselves. And I hear like these Facebook seller groups on Facebook. But people are every day like these different groups, and I kind of get out of them because I just hear bickering or complaining, and I'm not saying really anything positive, or educational for me, so I leave them. But many of them are like, what do you do with this negative comment? Like, go inside there and leave feedback just like you did. Say, hey, you ordered this yesterday and you left me a negative feedback and it got there in less than 24 hours. Was it broken? Was it torn? Yeah. Like, those one time particular, this is probably like 2 years ago, that somebody was saying you didn't package the item right. And I'm like, they were socks, like they're in a clear sleeve. I think I even put like a cardboard around them just because they were nice socks. I sold them for like 20 something bucks, some stand socks. And I put them in a thank you poly bag, right?
Yeah.
And somebody after that, I got like probably around 5 comments saying, my packages were my orders were packaged fine, thank you very much. So that made me like the way they said it. They saw that dude or
Yeah,
lady's comment, and like I thought that was really really cool.
right. That's cool. Yeah, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I've always said it. If someone actually broke down and did numbers of how many great sellers there are on eBay, the percentage would be overwhelmingly high on that side. Like, if you just broke down how many bad returns or how many unreasonable customers you had, the percentage is so low. It's not even worth worrying about or being all negative about, because there's so much positive on eBay. There's so many good buyers on eBay.
There
I
is.
mean, and yeah, some of them you never hear from again. They don't leave you feedback. They don't do anything. They just get their item and they're gone. To me, that's a positive interaction. I'll take that. You know what I mean?
Any day. What's up, everybody? We jumped right into it and started going off the top.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Do
there's
appreciate all of y'all for coming in. Make sure to smash that thumbs up button, tap it away, and subscribe if you haven't already. Tell your auntie about me. We'll also let her know I am married for as long as I can be. And she is the breadwinner, which is funny because the other day she was like, I don't need you, or said something because my wife watches like these like novellas, these soap operas, right? And she was like, if you ever did that, and I was like, why do you do that? Why do you get caught up in these shows and question me? Like, I'm here every day, and then you get mad like about shows. Like, I'm not like these dudes. And she was like, I'll just leave you. And I was like, are you sure? Because right now you're the breadwinner. And she was like, you're so mean. Like think about it. They say it's cheaper to keep her. No, it's cheaper to keep them. If the other spouse is the breadwinner.
right.
What's up, Ken?
See, that's Ken agrees with me.
Yeah. I think some of the problem too with buyers and customers, I think they reflect on what they've been through and like say, oh, Sonny's like this person because things didn't work out the way they're going through, and it's just like I try to think about like the situations I go through. Carissa's one of them. Chosen Goods, prayers out to her. She was talking to me earlier on Instagram in the DMs, and put a heart emoji out for Carissa out in the comments. She does need prayers and love, and everybody else who doesn't ask for them too. But it's just like, man, people go through stuff, and as a reseller, like when I'm driving, I'm like, why is this person driving slow? And my wife gives me my own medicine. She was like, remember what you said? Some people go through stuff. I was like, yeah, you're right. Like shouldn't be acting that way. And who cares if somebody's tailgating me? Let me move over. Let you go past. I try to look at things differently because you just never know how you're going to make somebody else react differently to themselves or to somebody else. Could be worse.
Yeah.
There is a difference though. When somebody gets in your face and does something, that's when you gotta mic 1, mic 2, check, checker.
Right. No. Yeah, I mean, you just never know. Like today, I did a Facebook Marketplace purchase, and so
speaking of my wife, she just texts.
And so like the city that was just in the listing was one city. And then when I went to map it, it was a totally different city, and it was like another 15 miles. And I was like, oh man, I got but then I get there and find out, the address was his mom's, and now he's out living on his own, trying to make it on his own, and he's having to sell some stuff to pay rent. Like, you could just get mad, message him, you lied, like this address is wrong, blah blah blah. But then when you get there, you realize, was it really that big of a deal for me to drive an extra 15 minutes? When he's, and he's struggling, to make it out on his own after moving out of his mom's, and he's having to sell some of his toys. So I'm like, I could have got mad, but I was like, I'm glad I didn't, I was like, I'm glad I just got in the car and went, and turned out I was able to help him. He was able to help me.
Bluegrass Drifts is asking, so you aren't looking for a cougar? What age is considered a cougar?
With that hair he's got going today, he's definitely like on the prowl.
My wife didn't like my hair, growing out. And there's a certain part when your hair grows out, like it just looks funny. And then now that it's longer, like she'll come up and grab my hair. I'm like, hey, freak, chill out, Like I don't have any insurance anymore. I'm a full-time reseller. Lost that when I left the company.
Right?
I think what age is for a cougar? I don't know that stuff. Do you ever get stink eye after she has a bad dream about you? Jeremy, I get a stink eye from my wife just for smiling at the TV if they're saying a joke and a female happens to be in there. Like it could be a mannequin and she gives me the side eye. I'm like, what's wrong with you, girl?
Do you have an impression of it? Do you do a good impression of her stink eye?
No, like hers is stern. Like it burns like through my soul.
Right?
When I did what was it? I had to go do some stuff for trying to have kids. Everybody, I brought this up. I'm pretty much an open book. And then I think the MRI, X-rays type stuff, and I showed her. I was like, "You see this black stuff like that's in there?" And she was like, "Is that mass?" And I was like, "No, that's from you burning my soul from the evil eye." And she was just like, "You're so mean. You shouldn't joke like that." But it's a true story. I did show her the things though, because she's a nurse and she's nosy. Like, let me see your results. Let me see your labs. And I'm like, you're not gonna find herpes on there. You're not gonna find anything. Like, you've been with me all this time. You would have already seen that stuff.
That's what Gene King said.
Positive vibes next. Positive vibes are always a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's
yeah. Whoa, look at that photo. You got to change your photo, man. But appreciate you. you know, they're actually doing
well, he was almost monetized, folks.
Yeah, almost monetized. Thank you for ruining that. But you know, they're actually doing something about that. I was looking at Whatnot. Like I said, I got approved yesterday, and I got to do that walkthrough. I'm not sure what that is. And they're actually going to be hitting up profile images, you know, derogatory stuff, and they're going to ban them. But you could always appeal it. But if you're just putting yourself out there, like, you don't need to do that. You really don't.
Even the little preview videos that you can put in before your sale, those can get a little crazy too. I've seen a couple.
Yeah, I've not until yesterday. I was like, I need to look at Whatnot and follow people more and more.
So I know you've been in this. Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you've been watching some Whatnot stuff. I've done a couple sales. What is your social media plan for that? Because it's a big part of it. Like, what's your game plan, just out of to attack, to get people from social media at your sales? Because that's a big part of your early success.
Well, I'll tell you, and then if you could afterwards, after I say what I say, tell me what you did and wish that you could have did before would have changed. Okay. So what I'm thinking is that advertise the crap out of it. You know, like I introduced it in the beginning and later on, and it's relative to what you're doing. And Tim, and that's one thing about me. I bring in other people, even just mentioning them. People and other like say channels are like, oh, I don't know who Tim is. You know, like from over the years, you're putting me on new people, and that's the whole point of a community. So people out. And what I'm going to do is make videos like on Instagram, TikTok. Hey, I'm on Whatnot. These are the kind of items that I have. And I don't want to do so much or like, what are you interested in? Like a vague kind of question. What are you interested in what I have? You know, and I'm looking at building, and Carrie, our Retail Arbitrage messaged me, and Kevin Commonwealth, I believe today or whenever I posted it, they're giving me some tips of like, hey, build up on the little things and be social with pretty much your guest, you know, be entertaining. Don't be ridiculous. I'm pretty sure, you know, there's some of the things that are just common sense for some, but I'm just going to build towards the small things that I have to the more valuable things, but mention that even in those to like, hey, I have this. And if you're interested, we'll work towards that in the future, and just be honest with them. And with you, I'll ask questions from what I hear from you, because I have a little bit, but probably the more I hear and see, say from you and other people and Whatnot, I could have more questions and maybe get answers from.
Right. The first thing, you know, there's a lot of things you can do. I recommend doing giveaways and promoting your giveaway. Find, you know, whether, you know, if you have, like, if I were you, if I had some of your hats, I'd like give away a hat every show to get, and that'll get some of your social media in there.
Your hats, as in like your personal hats?
No, like your logo hat, like give one away or something like that. But do giveaways or a Funko, because you do it. But I don't want to tell you to give away your Funkos. But you can do a giveaway in the live, and what it does is they have to be following you to be eligible for the giveaway. So that helps you get followers. Like, people that are if you see you, and when you're watching, and if you see your viewer count up high, that's when you want to do your giveaway, because the only way they can register at that time for the giveaway is to follow you. And it literally brings up a little thing that says follow and register for giveaway, so they have to follow right then and there.
So it helps you out.
So I do recommend doing a giveaway. Make sure I recommend preloading stuff, taking at least a picture of it and preloading it. That way people, and giving yourself a 24-hour advance before your sale. That way people can go in there and see what you have for sale, and they can actually pre-bid too now, where like they see someone there, they could put a bid in before this auction even starts.
And that's a good thing, because you already have people that are interested, and hopefully there's another person that's also interested at minimum.
And that's the key. I mean, getting multiple bidders. If you have one person bidding, it gets rough.
Yeah, it's pretty bottom dollar.
You start giving stuff away, which that's part of it. And then the last thing is not the biggest thing, but if they're still doing it, you can get that link, and it rewards everybody. So you can put a link in your social media to where if they use that link to sign up for whatnot, they get a $10 credit, right?
Yeah.
And then they're probably going to take that $10 credit to your sale and spend it at your sale. Nice. So early on, that can help. I mean, that definitely fizzles out, but early on it can help. So those are the main things I would recommend. And be entertaining, like Kevin said. That's huge. Like, and you'll have no problem with that.
I don't know. I'm like really shy. I don't say very much.
and be patient too. Like, just like eBay, be patient. Like, it's not gonna take off right away. But maybe, you got a pretty good following. You could do pretty good early on.
For Whatnot, it'll be a different following, because I feel like I'm a little entertaining, and I feel like I do share some educational stuff at the same time.
Yep.
And life experience, like a vlog, like my recent video. I wanted to make it more like a vlog, but I just wasn't feeling it that way. So I'm like, you know what? I want to show them the food, and then we'll get it thrifting. So if you haven't checked out that video either, people, go show it some love. And I wanted to bring this one up from Scott. Cha-ching King. I haven't applied for Whatnot. I'm not sure I have the social media community that they're looking for. I think if you're interested in getting this is how I saw Whatnot. Like, yes, it's another opportunity to make some extra cash. I feel like I could make some money on there. I'm not going to say I'm going to make hundreds or thousands, but I know I could make enough to make a difference on top of eBay that I could worry less and start investing more and just saving more. Because my wife talks more like, okay, you're home and it's working out to go travel, but when I'm traveling, I'm not working on eBay, and that's the last thing I want to do is be focused on these selling platforms, So I'm trying to make things work the way they are, but I also look at the things that I have here at home. Like, I don't want to hold on to this stuff, and it's not worth selling on eBay because it's not worth much. But say these card packs, the Magic the Gathering cards, MTGs, I have quite a bit of them where I could sell, bundles of them. And even if I make $5, this $10 buy that I got from them, if I've been watching me long enough, some of the cards, one of this $10 box of Magic the Gathering cards, one of the first cards I sold for like $425 to a friend. What? Other ones were like several $100s, like each, $100 each, and it's like I probably made like over probably $1,000 off of them, to where like it's already paid for it. And these other small cards, like I'm okay at selling like $5 for 20 cards and see how it is. I could throw in extra ones, like, hey, I'll throw these bonus cards in, like.
I guess is that what you got approved for then? On Whatnot? What are you?
I put apparel.
Apparel. Then you got approved for apparel.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's good. Apparel does really well.
I did mention on Whatnot, because on Whatnot, they'll ask you, what are you trying to sell? And I mentioned, like, I have Funko Pops, Funkos. I do apparel. I have quite a bit of cards, and I have hockey, football, basketball that I haven't even gone through. Not to say that I have a room full, but enough to where it's like, okay, I could find these different groups and people that are interested. So it's not just the same thing. But again, I'll figure out my customers as I move forward in these. So that's what I'm looking at, Scott, is pretty much in short, like the things I don't feel it'll be worth on eBay, but it'll be easier money on Whatnot.
Right.
So.
I mean, it's a big factor is what you have into it, right? Like, either if it's something that you recently purchased, you don't want to have a lot into it on Whatnot, or stuff that you've had for a long time. I mean, clothes definitely transcends better. Like, stuff that for some reason isn't moving on eBay, you can take it over to Whatnot and it'll do pretty good. Like hats, I sold a hat on there that had been sitting on eBay at $15 forever, and I put on Whatnot and I sold for $25. Like, I just don't even. Awesome. I think trucker hats. I wouldn't do sports hats. I didn't actually have good luck with sports hats, but trucker hats, like mesh back trucker hats, that was one of my best sales.
Cernox videos, I always see people asking them like they want trucker hats, and
yep, trucker hats do good. Oh, am I frozen or is he?
No,
did I freeze?
I'm not frozen. Yours kind of like turned, but I see you fine.
All right,
not sure.
I thought I was talking to nobody. I was like frozen.
Yeah, ladies and gents, if you have any questions about Whatnot, Jimmy has been on it for a little bit and pretty sure he could answer your stuff. But yeah, pretty much what you said. What I want to do on, is like I do want to do giveaways. I do want to have a more of like them branding me, so that way when somebody rocks it, they're like, I got it on Whatnot, and I'll make sure to say that too, not just like I hope they mention me. Like, hey man, if you see a friend that says that they like it, tell them where you got it.
Yep.
Come support who you're supporting. Why not?
Yeah, I think you're gonna do pretty good on there, man. I think I haven't had the most success on there. I'm not blaming. I blame myself for not being consistent, and I mixed it up a little too much. I went from toys to hats to then I tried to do VHSs, and like it was just too much. Like
what was your best genre of things that are like, okay, I need to do more of this?
If I could find them, video games like this. I said this whole shelf was all video games. All the titles that were $5 and $6 titles on eBay, that the common stuff on PS3 or Xbox 360, and I ran a sale on that stuff, and everything went for at least $2. Some that's some of it got bid up to $7-8 a game. That was by far my best sale, like numbers wise. And then trucker hats were second best.
If you don't mind me asking, what's the most you made off of like one YouTube live thing?
Or the one Whatnot? I can actually. I think it was the video games, and it was like, I don't remember the amount of games, but it was like $230 in one Whatnot live.
That's good. So even to me, like, I would like eBay to get back to where it was when it was after it started slowing down. I was probably making $300 to $400 every 2 days. Like couple of hundred, and then it just started dipping down a little bit. And I think the reason why is kind of like other platforms are trying to get other resellers to go there, and Whatnot happens to be one that it started booming. And I'm not mad at it. It's good to have different platforms. And if you haven't seen Kevin's Commonwealth video, the one that he had today, he mentioned some really good pointers of what he feels, and I agree with him what he says about like companies starting to be more on the seller side. So I'd recommend checking out that video. I was watching it today, and I'm like, that's good news, And it's not just what he thinks; it's actually people he talked to, and he says a little bit about it. And make sure to check it out if you haven't already. And if anybody could want to share his link or anybody's link, you could do that in the live. I don't have another window to drop any links right now.
I'll tell you, if you have a good knowledge of if you have a niche, or if you just have a good knowledge of your specialty or across the board, you can source on Whatnot too. You can actually do.
I've done that.
Good. I've done decent sourcing on Whatnot on toys. It's gotten more difficult because of the volume of people there, but you can still. I know quite a few people that have. I like Ken. I mean, he bought some for me for like, I don't even know what he got, that little dog, like porcelain dog, He flipped it on eBay, and I was fine. I was like, do it, man. Flip it on eBay. Go ahead.
The hustle's real. Cernock, I ended up getting a shirt from him, I think for like $2 or $4. I was the only person that bid for it. And what people didn't see is in the other room. It's in my bedroom. I'm not gonna go get it, but it's like this tree gnome, like a pretty big shirt print, like pretty big, almost the whole front.
Yeah.
And it's just the way it was made. I could tell that it's like a vintage screen print t-shirt. You know, it doesn't really matter too much about the tag that was on the inside. Even though it's a clear tag, I could see all the info. And other people are like, I'm not feeling it. I'm like, as a reseller, I could probably sell this for $50.
Yep.
And I know how to word it, knowing screen printing and things like that. That's gonna give it more value. So it's not just, oh, here's a tree gnome t-shirt. You know, it's like, here's a vintage, you know, keywords into that.
How many hours you need, man?
I need 1,000 more hours.
I remember those days. Doing these lives help, though, for sure.
They do help. I actually get a lot of views and a lot of feedback in here that I get comment rather than people coming afterwards and leaving comments. But still, some are trickling in and it's growing. So I appreciate everybody. Little by little, I'm growing as we all are, and it's a good thing. But yeah, 1,000 hours, and I'll get there eventually. I'm having fun. I am doing a lot better as talking and doing it, like saying I want to meet other resellers and hang out with them, like the niche lady, Danny, who's an amazing channel to learn from. I would like to have Danny, the niche lady, and Tim over the years, if I could, on at the same time, because they're similar. They're not identical, but I feel like you'd probably mind would be blown with both of them on if you're interested in learning outside of apparel, you know, glass and things like that, like crazy stuff.
It would be overload, but it would be good. It would be all.
I'll just be in the middle, like.
Yeah. I mean,
I get that.
I've been watching some of her Thrift With Me videos, and I watched her videos more to learn about her because she's doing really good. What she does on social media is really good. And, you know, that's when I watch a video, I lean more towards learning. Like your video that you just put out, dude, your editing was off the hook. I mean, it was just amazing. Like, and your transitions and stuff so for anybody out there that does the social media side of reselling, like, I watch a lot of those videos to learn what they're doing. Like I said, I've been watching her, and I want to learn the glass, but I end up learning more about how she does her videos. You know what I mean?
There's different things to learn from you. You may go into it wanting to learn about what she finds and the prices that she gets it for and what she's expecting to get out of it.
Yeah.
But you end up finding other things like, oh, that could help me out. And what I like about Tim and Danny in particular is that, unlike me, I'll go see something and I was like, I may know about apparel, but glass and stuff, it's off the top of their head. Like, it's right there. I would have to be like, hold on, camera turn off. And yeah, everybody, this is, you know, it's not that way for me. I'm not that experienced in other things.
No, they'll see it on stuff and they'll guess what brand, what markings it has on it, and they'll turn it over and it has the exact markings they said. I'm like, what? Yeah. How did you know that? Just by looking at a piece of glass.
Yeah, and Danny records just with their phone. Like, she has her phone has some setting to where it blocks out like the outside noise, and I've seen her in person do it that way. And my phone doesn't have that feature. It's whenever she has a different phone, but it's pretty cool. And I do want to upgrade a little bit of tech stuff when it comes to me recording for my GoPro and being a lot cleaner with my videos to share with everybody so they could enjoy. Because sometimes the phone just comes off like horrible. The colors, it's not the same. It looks faded, and I'm like, man, that does not look good. I would want to I would look away from looking at that part. You know, like
that's when you add one of your little effects in there, though, right?
Yeah, and I don't like doing that either. And it's funny because I do have a degree in digital media, After Effects and animation, 2D, 3D, but I don't apply it because it takes so much time to be doing that stuff. Yep. I do very little with it.
So true. It is. The struggle for me the most is the footage. First of all, organizing your footage and then having enough footage to put together into a video. Man, Like, yeah, you be doing the B-roll and everything. Like, you got it dialed in.
Well, I think it's all on how you feel comfortable doing something. Some videos, from the moment things flow, and they do flow sometimes, to where you already know how your video is coming out, and you go and you throw it in your program, and it just done, hour if you're lucky, But if not, you're like, I know I have something here, but I'm trying to figure out to get this out or clip this, and damn, I didn't say that right. How do I make it make sense? Because you don't want people missing out on what
Yeah.
you want to share. And it's not so much of like, oh, I have a video to share with you. It's like, no, I have something I feel you'd enjoy. And with Ken here, I do miss my coworkers. I was just thinking of one in particular today. He went for Marshall's. He got accepted, and I think he has maybe 2 or 3 weeks left. So I hope he's doing good. One of my broskies. He lives just down the road from me. What do you miss? Do you think about work, Jimmy? Like people that you used to work with, or you're like, I'm glad I'm a full-time reseller. I don't think about nothing else.
I miss being a mechanic. I miss some of the rewarding feelings of fixing something. Being a mechanic is very rewarding when you fix something that wasn't working and then it leaves your shop working. Like, that's very rewarding. So it's not as rewarding as flipping something for a big profit, but it still feels really good to fit. So I miss that more than anything. There's some coworkers that I missed, but for a lot of them I still talk to. A lot of
Yeah,
people talking about,
the people that I still talk to, those are actual friends, not what was that, acquaintances or whatever they are.
right.
But the people I do talk to, I go out and drive and meet them. It's not all about me. Like, hey, come to my place. Like, we meet up every now and then, and I enjoy that because it's one thing here in Vegas that when I was working as a kickboxing instructor and then at the post office, and then the win was the longest one, nearly 4 years, just a month shy of 4 years, to where it was like, man, these were all the people that I knew in one area, and my weekends were off than everybody else. It's such a weird life in the casino world. But I'm glad there are those true friends that are there for you. Like you folks here in the live chat. Love you so much. Love you so much. You keep showing up, showing me love. And Jimmy and everybody else. But it's nice. It's nice to have this rather than, man, I got to drive 30 minutes across Las Vegas to see somebody. Like, it's like the 20th time. How about you come over here?
Right.
You're right here. It's easy. Computer or your phone. Doing auctions are about engaging with the chat and also make it fun environment and sell some stuff in the process. Yeah, I like yours, Lewis, and it's not just whatnot auctions that I'm glad you left this question, because I do look at like your Lewis's live chat or lives and his podcasts, his auctions. Like, I soak in everything about like, oh, I'm not doing that. Like, I know I did. I said I was, and I forgot. And now, like, I do a lot better at getting back to like writing notes. Like I need to do this and tackle that, and not just try to remember everything off the top of my head, because it's really good to take notes. Some of the best ideas are forgotten. Sonny's new video will make you drool. Yeah, it'll guarantee. My recent video would add probably like 20 pounds, and that's not you recording yourself on camera, which gives you another 10, I think, what people say. So I get a lot of comments off of the food and the camel toe, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, you got to go check it out. Everybody loves a good camel toe. Those hokas are sick. Yeah. Don't know if you've seen it, Jimmy, but I ended up finding some brand new Hoka One Sky Arcali sneaker boots hiking shoes. Like, these are my dream shoes. I've been wanting them, but I don't want to pay the price for them. And when I turned around and looked, I saw it on the shelves at the thrift store. I was like, oh my God. And there's a lady walking towards me. And I'm like, don't you even look up that way. Like, I'm going to hit you with the cart and be like, yo, I'm colorblind. I got like color deficient. I didn't see you. Like, you're going to get hurt today, lady. But that wasn't the case. ¿Qué ondas? What's up, Bobby? Thanks for coming in, my dude. So you want to talk about your finds today, or is that for a video that people to watch?
I don't have them down here. I did find that best thing I found was that vintage starter all satin Chicago White Sox jacket, man. For $5 out of the estate sale.
Noise.
I say, what's up, Justin? Grimes finds, man. What's up, man? He just, speaking of a little prayer, he just hurt his ankle pretty bad in one of his videos. So yeah, I watched a lot of his stuff.
I am way behind then. In a live chat. Sorry, folks.
I saw Kristen said, yeah, I got to meet up with Kristen, a rural squirrel. We went to the bins together.
Did you lose?
I lost. I got in trouble too. I got yelled at. I didn't know the rules. I got in the trouble at the bins.
Oh, for recording?
No, for not following the rules.
Oh, did you? You want to tell us, or is that for a video?
No, it's for yeah. I'm not. Yeah, no, that's it. It's coming out. You got to watch. Everybody go to a rural squirrel and watch her video. I got in the. It's a spoiler alert.
Ladies and gents, sorry, I didn't realize
all
those.
The information.
I didn't realize those so much comments on here, and I'm kind of scrolling down. This one caught my eye from Chris, Cajun Reseller, who I was hoping to meet up with in Louisiana, but he's a busy man, and my wife had stuff scheduled. Hurricane drinks, really, really good, and the food was amazing. And then all these other places we were going to, like plantations and just like churches and things like that. It was really nice. I love New Orleans. It was great weather too. Are you going to the NC Picker meetup, Dave's? That should help with subs hours if you do those videos. So I don't think about stuff like that for the subs and watch hours. I just look at it like being exciting to meet people. Like when Kristen asked me to challenge me and say, hey, I'm challenging you, but you're going to lose. You want to meet up? And I was like, all right, I already accept defeat. You could beat me at the bins, and it's just an honor to meet you. And I got to have Mikey Bags of Money come over. Really good guy. I recommend y'all follow him too. I pretty much link up with him quite a bit and do plan on being with the niche lady soon. She also invited me to a party. And then I think the 16th, the boss meetup, Katie and Vicky, they have an event for resellers. And I'm going to head over there and I'm going to ask if I could record. I'm sure they'll say yes, but still want to ask. Sometimes I'm just that way. But do you want to talk about this, Jimmy?
About what? Another spoiler?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
This guy right here might be there too. It's possible.
You might catch him with his pants down.
Spoiler alert.
No.
I will be at the NC Picker meetup.
That's funny because,
dude, I'm so hyped. I can't even.
I will be there too.
You will be there. That's what I heard.
Who'd you hear that from?
It's the word on the street. I can't tell you.
And the word on the YouTube street.
Yeah, man, you start telling about the word on the street, and then you get yourself.
Yeah. Sonny's the word on the street. I like that. That's one thing my my videographer or videography instructor said. You know, it's like when it comes to showcasing stuff, videos, comments, posts, photos, if they're not talking about you, you suck. If they're talking good about you, good. If they're talking bad about you, even better. So I was like,
well, then why is why should I have, like, if they're talking bad about me, I should be like at least infamous right by now.
you gotta bring them on, like start some real stuff on YouTube and get them like, oh, he wants me to say something, I'll say something. And just know I got a box of tissues, like dozens of them. I'm ready to cry. Not worried about it.
Right. I got to answer Kristen's question real quick.
Where's it at?
I found out today when I went to record that this little card right here that you need in your GoPro to record was sitting on my desk. So,
hold on,
when I thought I was recording at the bins, I was not.
Oh no.
So the only footage I have is the footage that I did on my phone, and it's not very much. So total epic fail on my part. Like that was just, yeah. Even today, I walk into the estate sale, and I'm like, why is my GoPro making that noise? Like, what is going on? And I finally look down, and it's like yelling at me that there's no SD card in it. I was like, oh my god! So then I got home, and there's literally nothing, no footage from anything that I've done.
Already.
So, yeah, so sorry, I had to
No.
Such a noob.
You gotta, you gotta. This is what it takes, to be a stay-at-home husband. You go through obstacles and you
Yeah.
bump your head. You
Well,
might kick a stool and hurt your little toe, and that sucks, man.
so it's because I watched. I'm always worried that my battery's dead. So that's the thing I'm concerned the most about, because I washed my backup battery for my GoPro. So now I only have one battery. And I'm always so worried that I'm going to wake up in the morning and the battery's going to be dead. So I was more worried about that morning than anything. And I totally forgot to grab the SD card off my desk, because I had edited a video the day before. It was awful.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible, dude. And he's a professional. Even
Right.
the best have hiccups.
I'm gonna buy. Cajun, you got the right answer, man. I didn't just go buy another battery.
Ladies and gents, those talking about glass, because of Tim over the years, Dave, Midwest Picker, and Danny the Niche Lady, there's ones off the top of my head that when it comes to glass and plates and porcelain and stuff, that they pop in my heads for things. And right before I left to New Orleans, I ended up finding a glass vase in the box. The box was damaged, but it had all the information I needed rather than seeing a vase with no sticker or symbols or anything. And I got it for $20, and it sold like what I listed it the day before I left, and then it sold 2 days after for $100. So I thought, I was like, man, it's good to be out of apparel, but not completely, but to find these things just like that, something of value that sold pretty fast.
Yeah, when we were talking about glass, a lot of people were saying that, man. A lot of people had success with glass, man. A lot of people were telling their stories of.
Yeah, and Jeremy, I made a ASMR video about packing some glass cups, and Jeremy was like, I wouldn't have packed it that way, double box it, and I ended up doing that with this vase, and I wanted to record it, but when I got back home, I was just like, I need to pack this stuff up. But I definitely in my head, like, yeah, you should double box some things, and especially this one. It was like, I think like 16 inches tall. Like it had a little bit of weight and dimension to it. Bought some glass ID books, and that's a good thing that Tim, speaking of him constantly in this video, he gave me a book. I ended up winning it on one of his auctions on YouTube, not Whatnot, and I won one of these books about all this vintage glass and stuff. And some of the names, like when I see stuff, I'm like, oh, that looks like this. So when I have free time or just like not really doing anything, not really bored, but just like I need to apply myself to learn, I just open that book up and just flip, and eventually, like anything else, it just sticks. It's a process sometime. $10 flyers dresser jar last year because it felt different. Ended up being a Dom Nancy jar made in 1890s. Whoa, nice.
Wow.
I think one of my best flips was like at $13.50, and that was it. I think other ones have been like $4.75 and $100 maybe for some stuff. Yeah. But those aren't always the case to find those big items every time. Some people got that luck though. I'm just like, geez, man, where are you going? But they won't tell you. The only thing is I miss from my career is the kids. Haven't missed other stuff. Mikey Bags of Money. This is my broski right here. What's up, Sonny and Kristen? Checking in. 14 on a bike ride. He did mention that on a live. Mikey does a live every Thursday. Pretty much like about an hour or two. It ends before I come on. And he goes out, usually eats something, kind of like a little tour. And then more oftentimes than none, he'll end up going thrifting. And I like his videos. Really good guy.
I just subbed to him. I learned about him from you, and I just subbed to him like last week, so I'll go check that out.
Yeah, he's learning a lot from Danny. He spends a lot of time with her, and as well as himself. Like he is booming, and he's doing everything that people say stick to one thing, just reselling videos. He's not doing that. He's doing what's comfortable for him, and I enjoy Mikey a lot. Kristen got to meet him, and I'm glad she did when she came down. Those plate and cup stuff like that.
I did used to do a live.
What's up, Regina? Wrong selling, you guys. Do you have courage? It is scary, and one of the reasons why I started packing it myself, because when I first started, I ended up finding this Robert Weiland acrylic shark, and they have different models of them where the base is different than each other, but the shark is the same, and it was really cool. It was really like smudgy, like filmy, and I was
Yeah.
like, man, when it looked like crap, right? Because the foam looking fingerprints all over the place. It looked like shit. And when I grabbed it though, it felt complete opposite. Like it felt, I don't want to say complete opposite. Some people might have a vivid imagination, but it felt like quality. And I got my shirt and I just rubbed the top of the fin and it just shined. I was like, oh my God, what is this? I looked at the bottom, saw Robert Weiland. I was out in Hawaii.
Oh,
I would always go to his like galleries there on the North Shore and Haleiwa, I believe. And I was like, I want one of these, but they're freaking expensive. But I've only seen paintings. I've never seen sculptures. And that ended up selling for, I think, I think 300 and something dollars. And I took it to FedEx and they're like, it's going to cost you 700 or $75 to ship. And I'm like, what? Why so much? They're like, oh, because we pack it. And I was like, after that, I was like, I could do this myself. They looking at them, they didn't do anything different than what I would have probably did.
So my biggest question, and if there seems like there's quite a bit of glass sellers here, my biggest question is, if you have a lot of glass for sale, what's that storage situation like? Like, I would be so nervous about the storage situation of a lot of glass. Like, I can't even imagine Tim's setup, his storage setup. Like, I have a couple pieces of glass on my shelf, and I'm always worried about knocking it off the shelf.
You're walking light on your feet, like
Yeah, and that's not possible for me, but I still.
Justin, you said it wrong. It's Sunny Tushins. It was funny a while back. Hey, I'm working on that, man. I've been working out in the gym hard ever since that. Actually, I got in there today. The past 2 days at the gym, I've been like, had a really good pump. I'm like, yeah. Hi, Courtney. This is Mikey's wife right here. Super awesome person.
Oh, cool.
That's something we were checking out while we were on snack break for a ride. Man, you got to watch Mikey's video if y'all haven't already. People, Super Courts, when she's not working, she's with Mikey when they are live streaming. Pretty good people, great people, not pretty good, amazing people, very welcoming and really good friends of mine. I'm glad to have met them. And there goes Emma. Yeah, am I way behind? There you go. I was like, where did you see Justin? I was like, there's Justin and then this one. Make you happy.
Yeah, you're way behind if you're just when he came in, when Justin came in.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming in, my dude. I hope you're doing well. Jimmy said that you twisted your ankle.
Yeah, I think it looked like grapefruit on the end of his foot, man.
Was it on the video?
And I don't know if he's put the video. I wouldn't have him, but he put it on Facebook, and man, like hopefully it heals fast for him because he's a hustler. You know, we all know if you've watched his videos, that guy's going nonstop. And for him to be laid up, it's like you can't even imagine him sitting around. But yeah, he did a number on it.
How dare you, Scott? All right, I'm gonna scroll through this. You could take over.
Erin, best offer queen. I went to the bins with her, and I went to go to her YouTube channel. I couldn't find it, and then I was like, YouTube unsubbed me from her.
And that, ladies and gents, some people are like, that's BS. That doesn't happen. It happens. Paul Philly Flipper was one where I'm like, man, I'm not seeing his stuff. Like I would see it, and he's consistent. Like he has video, he has content out often, right? And I'm like, I'm not seeing it. And people were like, oh, Paul had this or said something. And I'm like, I didn't see that like in the last video. And when I realized it was like, wait, it's been about 2 weeks. I thought it was like yesterday. Time goes by fast. So in his video, and I had a screenshot that I sent him, and on the bottom, it was saying you cannot watch this or error. So I sent it to him because he didn't believe me, and also proof, you know. But I had to unsub, then sub back, and then hit the bell again. But for some reason, even with the bell on, like I was trying to leave a comment, it was saying error or something.
Right.
Who knows why? But who knows? It's like I'm a loyal follower. Why is it not bringing me up alerts? Right. Here we go.
I think people that are working on trying to grow their subscriber count definitely notice it, because you'll be like, you'll have a good day, and then all of a sudden the next day, bloop. No.
Yeah,
Brian changed his picture. I was like, who's that? That's Brian.
Yeah, he changed his photo. I'm going through. We didn't freeze people. I'm just going through the chat. I didn't realize how far back I was.
Justin says most of his glass goes to the antique store, just set up as a display and as a sell. Okay, easy storage. Do not have. I'm reading all this chat too. We both reading the chat. So stop doing that.
The problem is, people, why I'm so slow is that
we're reading the chat, folks.
Here's a secret why it takes me so long. I can't read.
Hey, I have dyslexia. I'm
like
not even joking. Like, I had to learn how to reread because I have dyslexia. So we're on the same page. In the second grade, they had to take me out of the class and take me to a different class to learn how to read.
Did you happen to read the small red fine print in the thumbnail?
No, anybody read? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
So little things that I crack up with myself.
You're just trying to get
Brian say might have to do a live one of these days, but it would have to be like 3:30 a.m. Hey, you're gonna be competing with Larry if you do that. He's gonna be on at that time. Anytime, Red. If you want to come on, I'd like to have you on. This is the thing too. If you want to, like Scott, I learned a lot more on the lives, being in other people's lives. And then when I came over on mine, I was like, okay, I really with Jimmy, it flows a lot easier, and some people it doesn't flow, and it's like you got to work it. But it's all a learning process, and regardless of who I have on, like I want to showcase them and introduce people like to the good time of that person, that I know them as, regardless. But some people is like you really gotta like listen to them and have them feel comfortable more than anything, rather than it just being about yourself. But it is a good experience going into lives, even if it's not your own, or just do like Mikey Bags of Money. A lot of stuff that he does is just he does it and learns it from that experience and goes on. So it's really no excuses. It's just start doing it.
Being if you want hot seat there, being the one that's running it and trying to keep the flow going. I mean, if you've done it quite a few times, it gets easier. But the first couple times, ask Chris. He'll probably tell us. Being in the driver's seat, Cajun, he just did his first live a while ago. That first time, you're like, what's whoa. And then you got to keep a conversation going too. What?
Yeah.
Some people dropped in. I lost it. Wait. Yard sales.
If you haven't hit the thumbs up yet or subbed, make sure you do so. And if you want to hit the thumbs down button, it's all right. Only I could see that.
Right? When did they change that, by the way? I'm glad nobody can see my thumbs down.
Has anybody noticed the animation on a thumbs up? Like it does like a little sparkly stuff.
Wait, let me go do it. I haven't thumbs up yet, so let me go see.
Look at that. Look. Oh my God, people.
Mine doesn't.
No, mine does. Maybe because I updated the Chrome.
Maybe I need to. Yeah, I'm not.
There's like a new update.
Nothing about me is updated. Even my name is old school.
Hey, you're staying true to your name. We don't change nothing. What is up, friends? Thanks for coming in.
Hey, what's up, AR?
Got Jens in the house. Jens, I hope to meet up with you and Edwards right here when I hit up Texas at the end of the month. I'm really ready for another, not so much a vacay, but like, I don't know why my wife does this when she has vacations. She's like, we're going to have it here and we're going to have it here. It's like, babe, don't you want to like have it months apart? She has it like a few weeks apart. And that's why I'm like busy listing stuff, because it's like thinking of the time that I wasn't listing. And then I got to do as much as I can before I go back. But this time I will have more items to list, like drafted already, and just publish 1 or 2 a day.
Misha, did she change her picture too?
Everybody's doing these change up. New year, new me. Some of us, like myself, started a little late, like the jump. Also, the glass get wrapped in paper and then I put it in a box and other glass.
It could be
Somewhat
just
tight,
that I'm
so it doesn't.
blind.
Packing class store is only a place I can go is online. If not, the box will motivate you. Needs to go. Box away, not option. What's up, Joe?
Joe, he's awesome, man. I was
Joe
so
is
fortunate to meet him in Cincinnati and get to talk to him.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's awesome, man. He's awesome.
you're meeting all the cool people.
I mean, I gotta say I agree because Joe was cool as could be, man.
He seems very cool.
Yeah, it was good. Like me and him got a chance to sit down and talk for a while. It was cool.
Mhm.
Leroy, what's up, man?
Christian, that's pretty good in my book. 2739. I appreciate you all, friends. I really do. I do want to Jimmy brought up giveaways, and one of my battle buddies, a fellow sergeant out in Hawaii, Schofield Barracks, he is on Whatnot. And when I showed that I was on there, on Instagram, Hector Rivera Jr., and he was like, dude, I'm doing pretty good at it. And he messaged me months ago on YouTube in the community thumbnail. He would reply in there saying like that I motivated him to resell. And it was just like, I'm sure he has done something like it before, but I just thought it was pretty cool that he did it. And he was giving some pointers out too. And he mentioned one of the things like to list, like you said, kind of have it ready and people could bid on it. And that's something Tim was talking about too, that just bring up the lot number or something if you're interested in the chat on Whatnot. So there's little things that I feel like I'm learning now. They're going to make a big difference for me to bring out in the YouTube and not YouTube, Whatnot, but bring it up here. And I know I'm like all over the place with that, but you get what I'm talking about when you go and check out Whatnot yourself. And the thing about Whatnot, I would say, Jimmy, do you want to add your link, your Whatnot link? So if you're following them,
I don't even
like,
know if I have it readily available.
He's like, oh crap. But
don't put me on the spotlight. I told you.
Mine is SonnyLasVegas. But the thing is, like for like a few weeks, Jens was one I was following. I was like, man, I want to buy this stuff. And I was so like kind of scared to put my card information. I was like caveman in that sense. And when I finally did and paid for an item, is super simple. There's no other thing that you got to do other than make sure your address is right, have your account information, and that's it. You don't get tackled by emails and stuff like, hey, go do this, go do that. Like I like how simple it is on Whatnot. But Jens was one and a handful of others where I was following and learning from them. And Jens is like selling some crazy Pokemon cards. Like I see them, I'm like, damn, I'm gonna find out where she lives and just raid her place. But what I was getting to too, you don't have to buy stuff just because you're on there. You know, you could go just check, and I guarantee you're going to find some stuff that you're like, hold on, let me put my information in there, because some of these prices for things are deals that you won't find on eBay unless it's like an auction and somebody doesn't know what they're doing and they have it for 99 cents and they put the title wrong and you just score big times, especially with accounts that are smaller. That's what I'm learning. The startup accounts usually like, okay, they're going to take a little hits, but it's a learning process. House husband, have a great night. Thank you, Court. Super Court. Courtney, have a good time. And Mikey as well. Mikey walks around with Doreen, which is a mannequin head. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. You got to check out his recent live. It just is interesting and fun. I got to walk around with, I was going to say the three of them, but Danny was there, Carrie was there, and Super Court when he did it. And people give these eyes like, what are you doing? What's up, Leroy? Two nicest guys in the building. Yep, Leroy and Jimmy. I agree.
Somebody else here?
It's you and yourself, my friend. I thought it was because you're busy with life, man.
What was I going to say? I was going to say something about Whatnot. I'm sure people don't want to hear too much more about Whatnot.
No. They want to hear
make sure you have your link for the $10. That's what you need to put in. If you're not signed up to Whatnot, y'all, use this link that Sonny has, and you'll get a $10 credit to spend there. And then you go to Sonny's first auction, and you can use that $10 credit to buy something from this guy right here.
Yeah. Let me see if I could do it from my phone. Let me turn the volume down.
If nothing else, I mean, even if you only want to go there shop one time, you'll get a nice little $10 credit.
There you go, my friends.
Misha, they're on the way right now. They took forever this time, and they just shipped yesterday. So I'll have those hats soon.
You know, Scott, I usually do 99% of the time, but there's every once in a while when I see it enough times in the live chat to hit the thumbs up. I'm like, let me go look just in case. I was like, nope, I didn't. I blame it on my age. Forget at times. What's up, Lilac? Thanks for coming in. Glenn, take it easy, my friend. Thanks for coming in. Always showing support with other resellers as you a hardworking man yourself. And I see Glenn like from the moment I wake up in the morning, sometimes like at 4 on Victoria's, Johnny's, and other people very supportive. Very blessed to have people like yourself and those in the chat and those who aren't. There's a lot of people that come and go that are super friendly, supportive, helpful. And what I mean by helpful is that it helps me learning from you to afford to be a stay-at-home husband.
And there he went to the thumbnail drop.
Yeah.
That's what this show is all about, folks.
Yeah, coming back to this, how to
Full
be
circle here.
a stay-at-home husband, and this isn't a recap because we're not over yet. To be a stay-at-home husband, you need to get your permission sign.
First of all,
sign.
You have to have gray hair, so
I have some. I
don't have it. So
this might be a little gross for some of y'all, but I do have white nose hairs. Not like all white nose hairs, but I get a few where I'm like in the mirror, like looking at myself, look at me because it's a mirror, and I'm like, what is that? And I was just like, is that lint? And it's a white hair. It's not even gray. It's white. Like it's so stressed out.
And when you go to pluck that thing, you tear up like crazy.
But listen, that's the best part. And then your eyes water. You sneeze. That's the best part.
Now, I'm going to do a shameless plug. If you don't have nice hair, you got to have a nice hat. That is very shameless.
I have both. I have both.
The hall.
I have both. Jimmy, did you get that other one that you got? Did you get the other hats come in already?
No, they're on their way right now. Like usually this place I use Lid Launch. It's just some website. I just like the quality of their hats. And they took forever this time, but they're down. I don't know. I think they were in some of that weather stuff. So I think that's what they told me, that they were affected by some of the extreme weather in the South. So I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Jimmy, have you used that? First, I haven't, Jeremy. I seen it today when I was listening to some stuff before this live. Got it from my recent thrift haul, and that Echo boots or ESO boots. Come to find out, they're like retail $185. So I'm hoping to get a little over 100 because they're in really good condition. But I ended up seeing it because I was on my computer. The new video feature, like little highlight at the top of the window. But I need to check it out because I got some electronic stuff that I want to use it on.
I have not, but I'm interested about it. It's always like the time, right? The time. Because for the way I list, that video could be on my phone for a week and then I'll forget about it. Because I take a bunch of pictures and then I list. I don't take the picture right when I list. So like I could literally have taken a video of it and then when I listed, I forgot all about the picture and it's buried somewhere in my phone. So I got to figure out, how to manage that, which probably wouldn't be that hard, but I'm probably just making lame excuses at this point.
And that's one thing you don't do as a stay-at-home husband reseller. Like you get like 5, I think, excuses like that. And once they're gone, like it's it. You can't have any more excuses. So that's part of being a stay-at-home husband reseller. And also you got to have like some strong cheeks because when you get those slaps every now and then, for not pulling your own weight.
Yeah, so I've met my quota already just during this live.
Wow. Just during this live.
What's yard sales? What's her name again?
I forget, and I have her on Instagram too.
Because I did, it's very possible. I talked to Shad for quite a bit while too. Another really awesome guy. Mike, remind me.
No, Doesn't have it on there. Let me see if somebody. I do this at times. Like I'm like I don't remember their name, and I'll go like in their say Instagram, and I'm looking through every post, and nobody says their name. It's like and I've actually learned that in YouTube videos that I start off before I do less of this now. I start off in videos like just I'm thrifting, and that's fine. But I was new at the time, and I'm still new to a lot of people. To where I remember now, like introduce yourself. I'm Sonny Las Vegas Thrifts. I'm a reseller, rather than like, oh, we're just going to like, why should I listen to you if I don't know some of your credentials of what you are sharing with me?
Yeah.
I think for me that's important. Other people, they're just like a lot more like entertaining to whereas like they lure you in. And this is one of the guys, Art of Resell, one of my homies right here, broski's. He doesn't live too far from here, and he was telling me about Aliante, an area that's probably in between us or near both of us this weekend, that you're gonna have a community art sale. So I hope to run into him or even maybe even ride with them to these yard sales and have a video of him and myself
You
just
talk
going out and
about
seeing what we come
some
across.
good video. That, like you were talking, that
Yeah.
dude puts out some solid videos.
Solid.
Entertaining too.
Yeah, it's good. Really good. Really, really good. So
Yep. And he's deep. He knows everything to look for man, pop culture and stuff. Man, killing it. Hey, there's Shad right there. What's up, Mike?
what's up, Money Moves with Jens? So Jens, I believe it's here in Vegas. Asking her sometimes to go thrifting and at the Goodwill kind of near us, and she was like, she doesn't. That's not one of her favorites. But regardless, we could meet up, and that's one thing I like about here that I was saying earlier is that I was saying I wanted to meet with more people, especially here locally, and it's happening. And it's not because I'm just saying it; it's because like I'm reaching out to people and supporting them before like going into comments like, "Oh, I'm a new sub. How about you sub to me?" It's not one of those things. Like I show support and I talk to them about things that are the same and not be a weirdo because sometimes it happens that way. It's unintentional.
That's why I like Instagram, because like someone will follow me and I'll definitely take the time if they have content to follow them. That's why it's so important to put content out though. Like whatever, at least pick one platform and put some out, because if you followed me and I go look at I click on your name and I go see and you're putting out, I'm following you back and I'm gonna take some time to look at your content and like some stuff. Especially so it's so important to put. Just same with YouTube, but I mean, if you're looking to grow your YouTube, if you don't have content, it's hard for someone to go over there and the last video was put out 8 months ago, and they only it's. Is there really a reason for me to follow or subscribe except for sub? Well, I'm on YouTube to watch other people. If I'm not putting, I want to see content. I want to learn, whether I'm learning how to video edit or looking for what to sell. Like I want to learn from you too.
Something new that you're interested in but don't know enough of. But at the same time, get to meet people too. Like it's nice to communicate with those who like say leave comments, and it's just like, whoa, like they watched this video because of the things they say, and not everybody says the exact same thing. But unlike my recent video, I'm getting a lot of comments about two things that I mentioned: Frosty the Snowman's camel toe and the food. And I think Phoenix Flipper Matt was the one talking about the Hoka shoes, and it's just cool. People see different things, and it's just funny. And I'm glad people enjoy it for what I feel it's worth.
Like
It's
a
growing.
great example is Kristen. Yeah, she's local to me, a rural squirrel. She reached out to me, and she saw that I was putting out content. And then when the first thing I did when she reached out to me is I went to her Instagram and I went to her YouTube and watched some of her content. And I was like, man, there's some good information here. So I was like, reached right back out to her. And we ended up going to the bins, within a couple days of learning about each other on social media.
Jimmy,
Yo.
did you already answer the question about your hats?
Oh, they'll be in next week. So next week they shipped yesterday, and it usually takes 5 or 6 days. So I'll get them next week. I'll hit you up, man. I'll definitely hit you up.
Good night, Danny Mae. Thank you for coming by. Appreciate you.
Yeah, She is.
I've noticed you've been on Instagram break, Misha, because there was some things where Misha was one that was like, "Hey, you need Linktree," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get it," pretty much. And then she comes back, she was like, "I don't see it." So right there and then I was like, "Crap," So I run to my computer, I fix up Linktree, I put it in Instagram, and I was like, "Are you sure?" And then she refreshes, and it's there. It's like, okay, maybe she knew that I did it, or she's like, okay, maybe she didn't refresh hers, but that's really what happened.
So
And
if you've been following me on Instagram for a while, there's some that I just recently discovered stories and what they're all about. Like I've just recently started watching your stories, and I've just recently started using stories. So like Misha does a lot of stories, so I never.
I love her dogs. Yeah.
Yeah, so like, and then now she probably sees I'm
And hers.
watching them. Like I just recently discovered what they're all about. I actually really enjoy them.
It's like, I'm trying to sleep here. Stop.
It's actually like that's the whole. Like I said, I'm old and it takes me a while to figure stuff out. I was like, all these stories are cool.
So Jimmy does have hats coming in, right?
Yeah, they'll be in. Soon they'll be in next week. I can't tell you the exact date because they're UPS ground.
That's one thing too. I'm working on some thrifted T-shirts to put my logo on and just put them out there. I'm probably just gonna put them up on eBay. It's not gonna be like expensive shirts. They're just repurposing items that are from the thrift store, so they're just not thrown in the trash, and they're quality shirts. Chad Juice, am I way behind again? What's up, Chad Juice? You know what? Jimmy, take over for a second. I'm gonna go grab me another beverage.
Yeah, hey, the big screen too. I'm a big deal right now. I got to be careful with that, Kristen. I did say that I'm old, but I look older than you. Does that count? What's up, Roman? What do you mean sometimes? Jimmy's is sometimes. Come on, man. I guess that's true. I'm a good dude sometimes. here's where Cajun said, doing a live on your own, can you handle it? Can you handle the pressure? Yeah, Matt did get the last hat. Phoenix. I'm an absolute garbage at Instagram. Yeah, it took me a while to figure it out. Like I didn't best offer queen. She taught me a lot about Instagram actually, because I was like, what do you mean a sticker? What are you talking about these stickers? And I can just put them up here, and then a sticker is music too. What are you talking about? And a sticker is a link. All right, you done confused me. You guys that are doing stories, you know what I'm talking about. You know who's really good at stories is Shad Juice. He puts music, he puts all kinds of good stickers, and he puts I'm not gonna lie, some of my ideas came from him. What's that saying? Intimidation or not intimidation. See, I can't even get that saying right. What's the saying where like if you copy somebody, that's a compliment? Come on, somebody smarter than me, which doesn't take a lot. Put that.
Hey, you see this hand? It's going down. Not me. Impersonating?
Dude.
Copywriting?
No, like
plagiarizing?
There's this saying that I can't remember. Like imitation is the highest form of flattery. That's the one.
I don't say words. See, I can't spell.
All these smart people here. Yeah, I said intimidation. It's imitation. It's imitation crab. No, so like I started learning from watching Shad Juice's stories and how he did them, and I mean, some of mine resemble his. I'm not gonna lie. You go, Misha. Got a sale. Point for Ken is always on.
That's what's up, chat. What's up, Roman?
Dude, he said I'm sometimes a good guy.
and I hit like button.
Is the he's there kind of guy. Like he's letting you.
I mean, he's so big. His shoulders are so broad. Like him and Paul, Fiddly flipper can't walk in through the same door without either kissing each other, going in, or saying they're gonna fight whoever goes first. I guess I could see them just playing around the whole time.
Uh-oh.
Oh, is that a sell?
No, it's a message.
Oh, those always scare me.
I don't want to read that.
Yeah, no, you got to read it. You're on live right now.
Let's see if it's a negative one.
One thing I do like about
Well, they want me to lower my. They want me. Sorry. So hey, that's a sale. Hey, a Tamagotchi that I found in a grab bag for $50. They're asking me to lower my because I do the parameters on offers, and I have it set too high for them.
So that's like not even worth replying to.
I'll think about it. It's something I've had for a while, so I'll probably
think about it.
I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna let that one marinate for a little bit. Plus, I just sold some, so I don't need a sale right away.
Yeah, I just sold something. It's so funny. Yeah. It's funny because that's how I think at times too. Like, I had 2 sales a day, and this one it could wait. You know,
I mean, it's a lowball offer. If it was something I've had for just listed, I would ignore it. But I've had it for a while, so
that alligator was cool, Roman. A little baby alligator. It was nice.
Oh, when you were talking about those alligators, I was thinking, you know, and I'm probably going to mess up another saying because I've already done it a couple times tonight. What's the saying? I don't when there's a bear, I don't have to run faster than a bear. I just have to run faster than you, which would never happen. So with an alligator, is it swim faster? Like I don't have to swim faster than an alligator. I just got to swim faster than you. I'm a pretty fast swimmer, so
I'm a pretty fast floater.
I don't know why that popped into my head when you start talking. I saw, you know, your thumbnail has the gator like coming right. It looks like it's coming right at your head. You should have put yourself in the water. You should have photoshopped yourself in the water next to the gator.
On my GoPro, there was actually 5 alligators.
What? Also, it don't matter how fast you.
But it was like making the videos. Like I don't want to go through all the videos on the GoPro, you know. So I'm just like, I'll just put this one, and maybe I'll add that later. Because I ended up at the end of my last video, the recent one, it has a gator at the back just kind of floating towards the boat. But there was 5 of them, maybe even 6 that were off to the side. And there wasn't any like larger ones than maybe 4 foot, 4.5 foot. But I saw some that were like 12 footers. But as we were driving towards them, they take off. Like they're the smarter ones.
That we can't let that happen, Shad. Is your store public for me to know? I'll buy some from you today. You got any Transformers? He's got all those good toys.
Yeah, if y'all want to drop your links, go ahead and do so. Just nobody out of the ordinary of just some stupid stuff. I don't want to ruin my channel.
Shad said that it's the first time in a long time he might not have a sale on eBay. And that's a good thing. Yeah, I mean that's a good problem to have for sure.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
I mean, but I had 2 in February. That was the 2 days back to back. That's never happened since I've been full time. To have 2 days back to back with nothing, that was crazy.
Learned that from a pharmaceutical guy. All prescriptions are copies.
Yeah, that's cool. I get it. When I said it, that's when I was like, wait a second, maybe.
I have 2 days in the last 31 without sales. Damn. So, what was it? When it started dipping down mid-January, end of January, I think there was 2 weeks where I didn't have anything. And then it was like maybe 2 sales and then a few days. And regardless, is one of the things also being a stay-at-home full-time reseller is that you can't just spend because it's coming in, because you're going to have moments like this. And like Chad Juice having 1 day, you know, not doing this in forever, that's an awesome thing. And for me, I only have, I think as of right now, 410 items listed. And I got up to 400 and I think 43 a month ago, and as soon as I'm listing them, things are selling. Not so much the things I just listed, but things that I've been having. But it happens. Just stay tight on your money. Don't spend just to spend.
Yeah.
To say, oh, I'm a stay-at-home husband and I resell full-time. Like, you got to have full-time money all the time, even if you're not spending it. It can't just have money to spend money. You got to have money to save money, because if it's gone, you're going to end up kicking yourself in the butt, and it's going to hurt. Not just you, but if you have somebody with you too.
Yeah, I mean, I myself keep my business money separate from my personal money. Like, I have a business account, and that money is for the business only. So,
Did Chad Juice send a link? Because I want a t-shirt, my friend. Chad Juice, if you want, you could add your link in there. You could add any of your links if you.
he said he's not going to drop his store link. I get it.
Oh, store
You
link.
might not have, a lot. I don't have my store very public anymore either.
Understood. Also, Jimmy's channel, we're whipping around links. Perpetual winter. And Jimmy will give me the definition of perpetual.
Wait, you say that again? I probably use that.
Can you give me the definition of perpetual? I have no idea.
Hold on, I don't have
Next
a smartphone
question.
right here. This isn't a smartphone.
It's not a smartphone if
Perpetual.
you're not smart. What?
I wish I had an IT guy to help me with that. Is this an all-nighter?
All-nighter? What time? Oh, it's been an hour and a half. Oh, we're just in here talking, how to survive reselling at home. Knocking out those reps, as Bobby said.
Yeah, they answered. Reoccurring, never-ending.
Damn, undaunting.
See, listen.
Thank you,
Not
Nelly.
the sharpest tool here. Not the.
I'm more like a butter knife. Not sharp at all, but I could cause a little damage.
That's why we have the smart chat. You guys are here. You're here to help us.
Yeah.
You guys didn't know.
Yeah, we're not here to.
We recruited you in the chat to help us with these big words.
Plot twist.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're supposed to tell us how to. Well, ladies and gents, all right.
Jokes on you guys.
Jokes on you, but on us too. What would you say for you in the chat? What are some things that are important to you about reselling and why you do it? What's the goals? Why do you do it? Is it for you? Is it for family? Is it for both?
Are you asking me or are we asking the chat?
We're asking the chat.
Yeah. All right. Good.
Somebody agreed with Roman. What did he say? Because a lot of people don't really agree with Roman. He just close up shot. Open dealership.
He said that.
Oh, this one.
Oh, wait. So,
jeez.
I'll say an important part of reselling to me is to be able to travel whenever I want to. All right, there we go. Matt just Phoenix Flipper, not Philly Flipper, Phoenix Flipper, Matt. Right now to pay off debt. I'm hoping eventually for freedom.
There is a lot of freedom at being a stay-at-home husband reseller. And I wouldn't say that for wives because I'm not a female or a wife. And I do want to have females come on here, whether they're a wife or not. I've asked Misha and Carissa. Again, prayers to Carissa. I hope she heals soon. And she is in my prayers and thoughts daily and consistently. But I've asked Misha to come on, because there's different things that like guys say stuff. And then the women are probably like, I would slap you if I was married to you, or maybe even choke me. But anyways, I'll like the different perspective of what other people think other than just males.
Having fun. Yeah, I mean, that's huge. Hey, Chris agrees with me. Even though I'm not a great mind, we'll say you're the great mind thinks like my mind. I'm not gonna say great minds think alike. Justin drives a Lambo. That's good. That's good.
Hey, did y'all see Chris? Did y'all see Bolo Buddies when she had the birthday for Carissa, and she asked some people like to create a video and have like a happy birthday video, pretty much. Everybody's getting shout outs, and Chris here, it was like the most gangsterous part on there, and I'm just like, this dude is a G, man.
He's straight
Like,
up a G.
I was in New Orleans, and I was just like toasting up to his part. I was just like, God, that was
I
freaking
didn't see that.
awesome.
Now I have to see it. Is there a link to that anywhere? Anybody?
I don't know if somebody could find it in here, but it was pretty much a surprise of like her norm of like, here are my bolos, but it was, you know, it played that part to get her to come watch, you know, and then it was a surprise happy birthday from people.
That's
And
cool.
I thought that was really cool that people think about other people and, you know, do something, you know, those words and videos to put together and throw at the last minute pretty much. Because she asked me like the day before, and then she had it ready the next day. And if I try to do a record today, it's not going to be out till like a few days later. Like, that's just me. And to do what she did and the people to jump in it, on it and say happy birthday to Carissa, like, that was special for her, but it was special for me too, just to see the people's hearts, you know, showing up there. Oh, let's get back to. We need to all visit Justin. He needs. I definitely want to.
All right, I'm gonna open up this link real quick so I can
check it out. His bed. His bedroom for those fluffy pillows that has moolah in it. Justin wants it for the Lambos. Reselling has given us freedom of time. It's been incredible. It has given us freedom and time, but you have to use that time wisely. You know, because you push things aside and then it catches up to you. Joe says, paying my kids' school tuition. That's important. For me, like I was fortunate enough to join the military, and I wasn't planning on going to college until like financial times are like hard. And my wife was like, "You're not making enough. You're gonna make more money going to school." And that's why I went to school. I didn't go for the education, not necessarily. It was for the money, and then it just happened to be that I was pretty good at digital media stuff, so it helped. A resale to make a living. The lights are on. I have food to eat and gas to drive around, but not much extra left after that. And the thing is, as long as you're happy, as long as it's enough for you, you know, and that's one thing people get caught up. I see, I'm not assuming, I see this, that people are like, oh, they make this and they make that. And they're leaving these comments and you're just end up being spiteful and a little jealousy. And I was like, no, you should look at these numbers. Like if you feel people are doing better than you, that shows you have room to grow. You could do that too. You could even be better. You just need to stop having that negative focus and start being positive. Like, hey, that could be me. I could be at home when I have free time, because I did more work as a part-time reseller than I have been a full-time reseller. I was hustling a lot harder. It's just different when you're at home because the priorities are different.
Yeah, I mean, and then you will get better. Like, if you're not, if you're having trouble sourcing, or I'm night and day. My sourcing is a million times better than when I started. You don't even, it doesn't even have to be a niche. You just start seeing stuff. You start seeing stuff again that you've sold, and you just start seeing quality items better. Like, your eyes start to see it, and then that helps too, because the average price of sales go up.
Yeah, I think it took me probably nearly a year until it was like things started clicking, the light bulbs went on. Like, oh, this is easier, like looking at stuff. What was worth something, what wasn't on the comps and Google Lens. Like, I didn't know about Google Lens until probably like 4 months ago, after all this time of reselling and watching live chats and people's videos. And it just somehow this little information got by me, to where I probably heard it, but I didn't see it until somebody, I think it was Tracy Parks, who mentioned it. And I was like, wait, I've heard that before. Let me look this up. And I was like, Jesus, man, I could have did this a long time ago.
Yep.
Those little things go a long way.
Yep.
How many of you have spouses that support you? I would say, honestly, my wife wasn't supportive of me being a reseller at first. because it wasn't a guaranteed paycheck like you do when you work for a company. You just got to show up, do your part. You could be a union worker, do the bare minimum. Unfortunately, I'm not like that. It's not in my DNA. But not until probably a month or two ago, and it's now my 7th month of full-time reselling. And again, I've been doing it for like 4 or 5 years as part-time. And I could see she's a lot more relieved when she leaves, when I'm in the office, when she's going to sleep. She's not stressed. And that's a good thing, because if she was, she wouldn't be talking about, hey, you need to get your passport so we could go to Bora Bora. You know, like I want to start a YouTube video. She wants to start getting back in a YouTube video. And Jens was probably one of the first one, Jennifer, that was asking like, hey, I seen your wife's YouTube channel and I don't see where it's at again now. And I was like, oh yeah, she used to do makeup videos. And then we do have a family, me and her channel. And she was like, babe, she was telling me this today. She was like, babe, I think I'm gonna cancel or close the videos we have together, our family channel, I guess, and she's gonna make her makeup channel into our family channel. And I'm like, hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
She wasn't about it for a while. Now she's like, yeah, I want to get back into it.
Yeah, that's cool. Sonia is very supportive. She helps me. She likes to go sourcing. She helps me ship. She takes the stuff to the post office on her way to work because she works right by it. Yeah, she helps me a ton. She'll take pictures. It's not like a steady schedule or anything, but she'll be like, oh, I'm gonna go take pictures, and she'll go down. She'll come down here and take pictures.
A little help goes a long way.
Yeah.
Long way.
And there's times she's a lot of help. There's definitely times where she's been a lot of help. She loves to source. She loves like hoarder sales, like ones where you have to picker sales where you have to dig in, and that's why she really liked the bins. She did really good at the bins because she likes digging into those bins, and like she likes if there's boxes under tables, she likes digging through those boxes and stuff. So she's really good at it.
There's different types of support I would like if my wife helped me, but she told me the few times that I've asked, she was like, no, that's what you want to do. And I'm like, okay. But she's not against it now. At first she was, I'm not going to lie. And she'll tell people, but now she talks of me and not ignoring me when people are like, so Sonny, how are you doing? She's just like, I don't want to talk about it. Now she's the one that opens up into the conversations. Like, oh, he's doing good, and he just sold this thing, and it's crazy. Like, he bought it for $2, and he sold it for like, 20 or 50. And like, because it's not always going to be 100. There's some low selling items, but it sells, and that's the whole point. And that's the kind of support I need to where she's not stressing. That makes me feel a lot better, and it really changes because that stress really brings you down. You're worried about it,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But I've always said there's like, for some reason, it feels like there's no in between. You either like reselling or you want no part of it. Like, I've met enough people that are like, what? You do what? No, that sounds like they're not interested at all. They don't want to hear any more about it, and they'll never do it.
Yeah. It's not for everybody. Just like jobs that people apply for because their friends are doing it, and then they get into it and they're like, how can you do this? It's like, not everything's for everybody. You gotta find you. And one thing I will say, if follow what you're already good at and what you're interested in, and even if you don't have the education for it, like you could email these companies. And this is what I've done, is not speaking out of my ass. It's like I've messaged companies before saying, hey, I'm interested in doing this, and I have no education in it, but what's a good place to start? And what would be a good starting position for me to work at to get me into company faster so I could learn firsthand from you? And believe it or not, I had probably like over 80% of these companies reply back to me saying, oh, cool, thanks. Like, hey, you should check out this or do this. And I sent your email to somebody else and they're going to replying back to you. It's crazy what companies do. But if you're not asking and you're just looking for job applications for spots waiting to open, it's not always that case. You got to think outside the box and just email those companies. Every company, legitimate company, has an email that you could just message questions like that, and more than likely they'll reply back to you.
And it's funny because Sonia, she likes what I do on YouTube and social media, but she wants like no part of it. Like I'm like, hey, you want to? I mean, she'll. It took forever for her to put her face in the
What's up,
videos,
Paul?
and like, but I'm like, yeah, you want to run the Instagram? Nope. You want to learn how to edit? Nope. I don't want any part of the social media side of it.
Oh, did somebody buy something? Scott, you don't owe me nothing, but I'd appreciate a t-shirt. I'll definitely rep it. I'm wearing one from New Orleans here. I was gonna wear one of my own, and I was like, nah, let me wear this one that I got, which was funny because when I got it, it said $20, right? On the sign at the not marketplace. Damn, I forget what it's called. They always have like vegetables and stuff like that. But here is like I see the sign $20. I take $20 out, and I was like, "Can I get a 2X in that?" And he was like, "2X." I was like, "Yeah, big boy size, real man size." And he was just like, "Oh, 2X." Points at the sign. It's like $250 extra plus tax, $26. And I'm like, this guy, like, how are you gonna upcharge me?
Right.
Like, and the thing about t-shirts, the more you buy, the less they are when you're buying them in bulk. So it's just like this was like whatever, dude. Like here, take my $26. And that's one thing about traveling too. I like souvenir t-shirts now. Like even concerts, like I want a souvenir shirt to be like, hey, I've been there. You know.
Yeah, that's cool.
What's
I
up,
do too,
Tracy?
but they usually don't have my size.
Yeah. And what size is that?
A lot of X's. There's about 4 of those X's.
4Xs?
Yeah.
See, no, that's good to know because
You
I
got
asked
gun
him
shows. When you got the gun show, you know.
Damn, show them again. Hold on. You want to show
Someone's gonna
them?
screenshot it. I already know. Here it comes.
Yeah.
Try to make a joke, and then I'm gonna get
nah.
my face put on top of some
Billboard.
We'll be on a Arnold
Drink milk?
Schwarzenegger billboard.
Remember that was a big thing? Drink got milk. Freaking all the cool kids were drinking it. And then it's funny because milk actually packs on weight on you. It has a lot of fat in it. Walking my life is 100% behind me, reselling full time. I love being a school superintendent. Oh, nice, Scott. That does match you. I didn't know that about you. But it's pretty high stress. Yeah. I bet it is dealing with a lot of different minds. Oh, wow. My left. Damn, Justin. See, you're going to be a stay-at-home husband. You might not end up being a husband staying at home. Bachelor. I'm not going to lie. This is my second marriage. This is going to be my last marriage. Couldn't resist hanging out with Sonny and Jimmy. Yeah. Oh. So Misha, I could have Jimmy on here if you want to, join us. And maybe even Jens. Maybe Jens might want to join. Make it easier. Whoever, or another female friend that you want to join on the live. Because it's probably been like a month now since I've asked her and Carissa to jump on. And then Dante, Prison of Prophets. He's definitely one I want to have on the show. I like him. Yeah. And Derek. Side hustle fundamentals. Money tells me every day to go get a real job. Not sure how to take that. If my wife didn't think it was a real, well, not until I started showing her. Like that's one thing you got to show proof of anything that you do, especially in a relationship. And it comes to finances. Like you do have to have something to show for, not just, hey, I bought something and I listed it and it's worth this much. Because nothing is worth anything until, as we know, it sells for that price, and that's what it was worth. And that's one thing I think. Speaking of earlier, we were talking about the messages. It reminded me, the person was saying the price was too high. I was denying offers that I had. One, it was probably like 2 months ago, but it was for like a week straight, and I realized like it was a handful of these rejected things that I rejected. These orders or offers, and I looked at it and it was like $250, and I was like, I could have made bank, all together. And it really opened my eyes. Like, do I really want to hold on to everything? Like, I need to, as Tim over the years says, turn and burn. If you could sell it, do it. But at the same time, I'm not saying just to let anything go for any price. But some of this stuff, I was like, okay, maybe I was I was being a little much, and it happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same reason retail stores have clearance though. Like there's stuff that they sell that they're not, making money on that particular item. But the way I have 1,300 things listed. Big picture, I'm in the profit on all of it. Like at this point, individual items maybe not, but from my inventory as a whole, I'm way into the profit on it. So if I've had some for a year, I can take a lower offer than what I have into it. If it was a mistake or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. What's up, Adam? Bally Pal picking in the house. Adam, folks.
What's up, Adam?
There we go. Got Dan in the house. I did ask him to come on today, but he has some stuff going on. Bachelor party and then some gigs for photography, as he talked about in the live that we had together here. But I thought he would be really good to bring on. And I do want to bring Ben Thrift and Flip on here too with Dan. I like the guys.
Yeah.
I like a lot of people. Keep waiting work on commissions. I really don't have time to hold. Here's something to look into. My siblings make fun of me. I'm more reselling than they do.
My sister does a little bit of reselling. She's got a little store. She does like a little, like 300 listings. So she's doing a little bit.
My sister, her name's Kelly Iris Sanchez. So people sometimes call her Kiss. She started doing like these little smell good kind of fragrance things, like little beads that you melt and put together or shape. So when I go out to thrift stores and stuff, estate stores, I always look for like those little cookie cutter shapers. Yeah. And I always message her like, hey, do you have this one? She's like, no, I don't really do that anymore. And I'm like, why? Like, you're really good at it. She had people reach out to her at these stores and companies like, hey, I like your stuff, but I want to buy it in bulk. And she was like, yeah, I made like $300 off of this stuff. And it took like a couple of hours. And I'm like, you need to keep doing that. Like, why are you stopping, But she works too. And then she has my niece and nephew. But I'm just like, man, I tried to get her into reselling. And she's just like, no, I don't want to do reselling. But she is an entrepreneur. And once you start selling stuff on your own, like figuring things out, like that bug is there. It's hard to step away from it.
Yeah. Right.
How to be a stay-at-home husband. Get a picker like Sonia.
Right? Yeah, I can just list. She can do all the sourcing. She wants to go full-time. We've looked at the numbers, and it would be a risk right now. So,
but you're working towards it?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen eventually. We were hoping for this year, but we're not sure. We crunched the numbers like a couple weekends ago, and it was like it'd be a pretty significant risk right now. So she'll just stay part-time for now.
How is that? How is that for you, Jimmy? With Misha saying she's a control freak, and she likes pretty much the way she does things, the way she does it.
Yeah.
Do you work well with Sonia doing stuff, or is it?
Yeah, because yes, me and Sonia work really good together. But a great example is my oldest son tried to work for me, and like it just I was too controlling. I was, and he couldn't. It didn't. Me and him like did not get along while we were both down here in the basement working. I like my pictures to look a certain way, I don't want my pictures to look like the lights are off or whatever, So like, and it would be me. I felt like it was me just showing him this is how I want it to look, and then he would take it as me saying he did a crappy job, and so it just didn't work out.
Damn, Justin got his mom working for him. He's low in materials. Yeah, I've asked Carla, I was like, I'm doing this good. Like, if you could just take photos for me, and she's like, nope. It's like, all right. But now it's like, babe, guess what? She was like, I could work from home too, and I'm like, what are you gonna do at home? You haven't started nothing. You need to start building it now.
I just don't understand. Like, You can stay at home and work. And he's like, instead he went and got a job at Lowe's. You'd rather go work for somebody at Lowe's than work. But I get it. It's also a social thing. Like, it's not exactly cool to hang out in the basement with your dad and list stuff on eBay. Like,
Yeah.
and he's not into sourcing at all. Like, he could. I'm like, let's go with me to this. No, like, he don't want to go at all.
And I will say what. So the rumor, what I would say for like VA veterans, people were telling me like, hey, you need to watch out and not work too much because they could take away your disability. And there's people that vouch for it that has 100% disability and say you could keep working. You still need something. If disability isn't enough, then that's why the reason you're working. Most people are, or just having a little fun or hobby, like most people do. Like people that retire, majority of people that retire are not 100% retired. They are working on stuff to gain more financial income because either they didn't save enough in time, it started a little too late, or it's just to a hobby to stay busy and keep their mind healthy. And that's very important when you retire. But everything should have something to lay out. If you have questions, like you need to reach out to the right people and say, hey, can I be doing this? And is there a limit? So that way you have that, I would say, backing or proof of if somebody says something, so you don't have to worry, or your spouse, of losing disability, because that is something to be fearful of, because disability comes with a lot of perks, that you've earned because of the disability. And for me, being a veteran, combat veteran, regardless if I was in combat, I have 100% disability, which is one of the big reasons what helps me be at home. But eBay has helped me do a lot more of being at home financially to be able to get out and about, and again, not live paycheck to paycheck. But if that's a stressor, I will definitely seek the right people and have those policies laid out in front of you and printed out as proof.
Yeah, for sure. It's very important that,
Yeah, things like that's important. Disability is important. I
Yeah,
have
I mean
disability.
the medical stuff alone, you can't let that get away.
No, because that's expensive.
Yep.
The stuff I go through, the therapy and physical therapy, mental and physical, and then like the meds and stuff and appointments.
Yep.
Whew, I wouldn't be able to afford that on my own,
Yeah,
to tell you the truth.
for sure. Guys in the chat.
Dan's out there dodging bullets.
They're talking about Adam's kids won't take, but then Paul got his kids taking pictures and helping with his whatnot. Say what? No, I mean, my son's he's just like, neither one of I have a 21-year-old and a 17-year-old. Neither one of them ever want to go source them with me. I'm like, this is the fun part. Let's go. Nope.
Get to buy stuff. Get to look for stuff.
They want no part of it in any way, shape, or form.
It's a good, like, I consider reselling like just bargain shopping. Like when you go to retail stores, you're not looking for the highest price items. Like you might look at something, and second thing you do is like, let me see the price tag. You're like, nope. My wife half the time, and she's like looking at $100 item, and then she turns to the tag and she was like, I'll wait till this go on sale when it's like maybe $5. I was like, are you joking me? But it's happened a few times where I'm like, well, that actually does happen. But there's a lot more stuff for females than there is for males at retail stores, especially with apparel.
I think you're spot on. I think that's why I like estate sales so much, because a lot of the estate sales around here price stuff high, but they still miss. And that's a huge rush when you find that thing that they missed on, right? Like they have a lot of stuff priced high in here, but they didn't price this vintage starter White Sox jacket. They only price it at $5. And then you're like, boom, scoop that up and you're out the door with it. That's a very good rush that you get when you find that, especially when they're trying to price everything, higher, and then they miss something. And it happens all the time for me. I find I'll be on a state sale where things priced high, and I still find
You find toys and items that are like in really good condition. And I'm looking at it like here at the places I go to is like somebody just threw it across the room like 100 times,
right.
and they have it marked like at $19.99. I'm like, come on, scan the barcode. It's only worth $5. Like, where are you getting these prices from?
Right. I went. What did I see today? Oh, there was an old model kit, but it was half of it was missing, and the other half was built, and they had like $75 on it. I was like, "What? Oh, what's all right, Matt? See you later, man.
Take it easy, buddy, and get back to videos.
Yeah, put some videos out, man.
Good videos. Him and his boys, his family. Teaching them is very important, especially in time.
All right, cha-ching king.
Scott's out of here.
Yeah, Scott. All right, I'm out, man. There's a lot of names to learn.
Thanks, Scott, for coming in. Oh, it's been 2 hours. We could call it a wrap.
Yeah, man, that's cool. Me.
2065. I don't know. Is that when your spouse is going to start helping you, Roman?
We won't have picker in 20. We won't have pickers in 2065 shipping trash.
It'll be digital. Jeremy says, my opinion, the biggest hack at estate sales is knowing which companies work for your buying model the best. Yeah, absolutely. And it's good to get information. And this is from what I learned from others. I haven't done yet because I haven't been in any estate sales. But if you go to places, especially estate sales, get those people that are running it, get their information, tell them what you're doing. And more than likely, they're going to message you and say, hey, I have stuff. Or you could be like, hey, what's left over? And buy it in bulk for a lot less because they don't want to get it themselves and have to deal with it. I've heard that myself personally at estate sales. Yeah, I didn't think about it until afterwards.
Yep. And then and then find the high price company and then go on the last day to that one because nobody else is going there on the first day. Go there the last day and see if they're getting rid of stuff.
You're stuck on that, Bobby. You got to flirt a little.
You gotta flirt.
Hey, there's going to be a guy that's there for the first time at estate sales for me because that'll be my luck. And I'm going to start flirting with him and he's probably going to punch me and I'll be like, but Bobby said,
well, Bobby said
with you to get some good deals.
To take my hair and go like,
Gonna whip it. Yeah. Oh, all right, everybody, stay tuned for more of these lives. I'm going to try to do, well, I'm going to Texas the 22nd to the 28th, but I don't know. Let me look at the time frame real quick.
These are the chat's going crazy.
Yeah, I got a few more Thursdays to do some lives, but on top of that, I am working on some what sold videos, come through with me videos. I just haven't put the videos together, and I plan on doing a lot more of that, especially trying to get monetized, get to that second step. I'm 1 of 2 right now. I already got the subs, and that is growing thanks to all of y'all that come in when you can. I appreciate you for subscribing, hitting the thumbs up button, and communicating too. The comments really do help a lot. And if you think about comments only like, oh, I'm asking you to leave comments, some of your questions are input, like Jeremy especially is one of them. When he leaves comments, is usually helpful comments too, not only for myself, but the people that come across them, you know, because sometimes people got questions and people are nervous and they see other people leave comments. They're like, okay, let me scoop up in here and say hi, hello, you know. Sorry, small. There's always a comfort. But yeah, thank you for coming by. Jimmy?
Yeah, everyone, thanks. I always have a blast coming on here with you, Sonny. Thank you for inviting me on. Everybody in the chat, as always, you guys are awesome. You give us stuff to talk about, joke around about, and it always makes for a fun time.
Yeah. Sal, I didn't say hello, but heavy hello, Sal.
Sal, what's up, man?
I didn't say hello earlier. I saw it and I was like, I got caught up in my own mouth talking. I like to talk. Jimmy, how much for the collection?
Adam, have your people contact my people, and they'll get you a quote.
Just know my people is me.
That means message me on Instagram, Adam.
Yeah.
That Jimmy, was short. That was long for. That was keep a long story short for.
Yeah. Jimmy, how much for the collection behind you?
We'll work out a deal. Nothing's really worth a lot up here. I think the best thing is that this right here is Pepsi Cola Optimus Prime.
What's up, Mikey? Hope the bike ride was nice for you in court. All right, but we are done for this live. I'm gonna have a what's old video out soon, and then some other videos. Is that Jimmy? Do you have any certain days that you actually put out videos, or it's only when you do it? And
I've been putting them out on Sundays.
Sundays.
Sunday's the one I will always have a video on Sunday, and then I usually have one throughout the week. So I went to an estate sale today. I have footage on my phone because my GoPro was dead. So I took my phone out. I got resourceful and I recorded on my phone. So I have some footage from a estate sale today that'll come out on Sunday.
Cool. Everybody's doing something, people. Don't get left behind. I enjoy you in the chats, but I like to see your videos too. Tell you the truth.
Expressing enough. When people come to your channel, if you have content, they're more likely to follow and watch some of your content.
Yeah. Tell your people about me. Take it easy. Love you all. Like, subscribe, and drop some feedback down below.